Hi, this is Tim with SmallScaleRC.com, and I want to give you guys a little sneak peek at a project that I'm going to be starting for my Proline Ambush 4x4. Now, if you've followed me anytime in the last year, you know that I'm a big fan of this machine. It's a 1/25th scale micro trail rig. It's a micro scaler, if you want to think of it that way. Leaf suspension, ladder frame chassis, just some neat little scale details. I've 3D printed a couple pieces and added them to it just to give it its own custom flair for my own tastes, and I've made some other odds and ends for it as well. It's summertime, time to head out and go camping, so we've got the kayak on the back and some fuel jugs and some other camping gear on top. But I'm a huge fan of this machine. It's fun indoors, it's fun outdoors. My kids have had a real good time taking this out, and I let them torture test it a few weeks ago out in our backyard, and they had a blast doing that. Whenever something new comes out for this model, I get really excited, and there was something new that was announced for this not a long time ago. Proline announced a new body option for this. So when you buy this machine stock, this is the body that you get. Now, I'm a fan personally of the International Scout, and I know this is not technically an International Scout body. It's close enough. It's somewhere in between a Ford Bronco and a International Scout. But being a huge fan of that body, that drew me to this machine even more. But I love this body style. It's really cool. But Proline recently announced another body option, which I had to order as soon as it became available, and that is a Jeep Wrangler. This is a two-door body option, so it's not as long as your four-door unlimited model, which I have on my SCX-10. But it's just another option to add and give this machine a little more custom flair. So we're going to take this out of the package, take a closer look at it. I don't have my paints in for this model or this body yet. They are on order. They should be here soonish. I really don't have a time frame on that, and I'm not going to rush this project necessarily. I've got my Ambush, as you can see, fully decked out and ready to roll, so I can do with it, just fine as it is. But I'm going to have some fun with this once we get it all taken out and cleaned up and get it prepped and to the point where we can start painting it. And I'm really excited to get the paints in for this model. Before we rip the packaging open, this is part number 3477-00 if you're interested. I did get it from ProlineRacing.com. I ordered it, again, shortly after it became announced, and it arrived just a few days ago. So quick turnaround, quick shipping. Really appreciate that. Look at the back. They're promoting some of their protoform bodies. Really not much to look at on the packaging side. So we're going to go ahead and get into the body itself. Now, I won't claim to be the world's best body painter. I've not painted a large number of bodies. So when I see tips like this, I'm more than happy to read them and more than happy to take them into consideration. I'm happy that Proline does include these on this body, and I'm sure they're on other bodies as well. But they just give you a list of what tools you're going to need, how to prep the body, best tips, how to lay out your design, and so on and so forth. So we're going to hang on to that. Okay, so let's take a closer look at what's actually in the package and in this body kit. So we've got our polycarbonate body shell, and you'll notice there's two pieces, well, two molded pieces connected by one piece of poly. There is the outer shell of the Jeep Wrangler, and there's also an interior. This is pretty cool, that the fact that Proline includes an interior for this Ambush is pretty neat. I like that. It's going to give me a couple more options, a couple more ideas, things to play with when I set this up and get it all prepped and painted and designed. And then we have our window masks and our decals and a little Proline pamphlet along with everything else in the bag. So we're just going to lay up this Jeep body on there to kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. It's going to sit up a little lower than this after I do my final trimming. But we're going to take care of all that after it's painted. This does have protective film over the top, so when I'm all done painting and have all my details done, I'm going to peel that off, and we will be ready to mount. But since we have a little time, I can tell you what I'm planning to do with this body. This is going to be, I would call it fairly simple. I'm going to keep this a two-color paint scheme. At this point, I'm thinking of doing a base orange, and then I'll keep the hardtop like a gunmetal gray or a black. I do have both colors on order. I'm not sure about the fenders. I may do the fenders in gunmetal gray or black, or I may do them in orange. We'll wait and see what the orange color looks like. As far as the interior, that's going to be, I think, just a gunmetal gray. Keep it pretty basic. They do have decals in here for, you know, seat belts and things like that, so I can put a few details in place. I may 3D print some parts to put into the interior as well before I get everything assembled and put in place. But it's going to be a fairly basic paint job, you know, orange and black or orange and gray. Just pulling this over one more time, just looking at the decals. Like I said, there are decals for the driver. There are decals for the different parts and pieces on the Jeep itself. Hood, windshield wipers, things of that nature. I may play around with this at some point in time and 3D print some parts and design a few pieces for it. But for this point, I'm just going to paint it up as soon as my paints arrive and get it on there and get hitting the trails as soon as I can. So until those paints arrive, this is going to be my look when I hit, you know, the great outdoors or the great indoors, depending on, you know, weather and time. But I hope you do check back and see how this paint job progresses as we get this Jeep Wrangler body painted up and sitting on this ambush 4x4. For more information on the Proline Jeep Wrangler Ambush 4x4 body, you can see a little write-up on it at smallscalerc.com, or you can go to prolineracing.com. And if you want to place an order for this body or for the Ambush, if you're interested in that model, or any of Proline's other wheels, tires, accessories, I can save you a little bit of money in doing so. You can save 10% if you use the coupon code RCNoob10 at checkout. It's simple. It's a very straightforward process, and it saves you 10%. So I can't really, you know, sell it too much more than that. You save some money, you get some great parts, and you can outfit your RC machine in any way, shape, or form that you desire. So with that, I'm going to wrap this video up. Hopefully next time or shortly thereafter, I can show you some progress. We'll go through the painting steps. This is one of two painting projects that I'm going to be working on. The other painting project, I'll give you a little another sneak peek, I guess, is going to be for my SCX-10. Now, I ordered an SCX-10-2 Cherokee body. That's on its way, along with the paints. That theme, not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but I love the Cherokee body, and I'm going to get that mounted onto my SCX-10-2. I've got some my SCX-10. I do have some SCX-10-2 mounting hardware that's coming along with the body, and I also ordered the roof rack for that machine. So I'm excited to get all that, get everything mapped out, get my theme nailed down, and get that painted and put in place. So we'll have more videos on that, on the, I guess, larger scale side of things. And for now, that's going to do it for this small scale RC update. Again, my name is Tim. For more information on small scale radio controlled machines, check out smallscalerc.com. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you really like it but aren't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do hit the subscribe button. So until next time, we'll talk with you later.